Hello, welcome to the Cup Night channel. My name is Shane, and today I'm going to bring forth a message by connecting with the energy of Mercury. It is Wednesday, Woden's Day, Odin's Day, Odin associated with the planet Mercury. Language is fun, isn't it? Yeah, so I do have my little custom Mercury correspondence deck that I made here, and on the pre-shuffle for this, I got curiosity, or curious, right? So there is a curious energy today. And there's also this idea of foundations. So we have the village. This is like, home. It takes a village to raise a child, as they say. So this is that like support system energy where you came from, roots, foundations, and the tarot is confirming that with the Four of Wands on the bottom. Yeah, so Four of Wands is like it's a celebratory energy, but it's also it's a home card, right? It could be a homecoming or it could be a going away, but either way, it's a celebration of some kind of like either a returning or a leaving. Just depends on the context. So if we look at the actual sky, you can see I've got the date set for the current time as I'm recording this. It is November 19th, 2025, and it's approximately 12:14 p.m. where I'm at, and Mercury is pretty close to the sun in the sign of Libra. So zooming out, you can see we've got Venus is now in Libra, the sun is in Libra, Mercury is retrograde in Libra, and Mars is in Scorpio. Yeah, but we're going to be focusing on the energy of Mercury today, and it is pretty close to the sun. In Vedic astrology, I believe they say this is a combust Mercury because it's kind of being like the energy of the sun is kind of like enveloping Mercury, so it's like out of view, right? Because when objects get close to the sun, we can't see them. It's like, recently, if you've heard anything about Three Eye Atlas, the interstellar object that we have been has been making headlines left and right. Um, you would know that for a while we couldn't track it because it was in the glare of the sun and we literally couldn't see it. So there was a period of time where the sun was occluding our ability to understand and observe its behavior. And so it's the same kind of idea. Um, yeah, so it's giving me this energy of, what is being this like detective energy kind of like, something's there, but you can't see it. You can't directly observe it because there's some kind of creative force, maybe a narrative or I don't know, just something very bright, right? Some kind of energy is blocking your understanding of the situation. This kind of goes with the message I was feeling yesterday, too. It was this idea of something like a missing piece finally being revealed. So it seems like that thread is carrying through already to this message, but there's a different flavor here. There's a different way of seeing it. So if we look at the True Sky chart and look at Mercury, you can see, here's Mercury, there's the little ticker, the little silver ticker. It's really close to the sun. And also Black Moon Lilith is right in here in this little cluster. All of them in Libra, currently in the 10th house. 10th house is like public image, how others see you, how you present yourself, um, like professionally to the world, right? It's career related, that kind of thing. It's like what you do in the world, what you're known for in the world. Yeah, so we'll keep that in mind. Um, I wanted to start with I grabbed a saying yesterday and I actually really liked that, so I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to get one So let's see what comes through here. I'm going the whole 9 yards. Yeah, so okay. That's fun. That's this energy of going all in on something, right? It's like, you know, putting your whole foot in it. That's fun. It's giving me this idea of with the Four of Wands, this is a very stable energy, right? Four is a very stable number, and wands represent fire, which is literally like energy, heat, passion, right? It's giving me this idea of a very passionate, you know, this is it for me. Like I understand that this is the path and I'm all in on it. And there is this energy of support behind it, right? It's like you've got the support of your village, your team behind you in this endeavor. Let's get also a figure here. Huh. Okay, so we got a trombone coming through. So, trombones, they slide, right? So there's this energy of like a gradual increase or maybe even a decrease, depending. We'll see what comes out in the cards, but um, with this I'm going the whole 9 yards saying coming through paired with I'm feeling it's probably increased. So it's like this, you know, um, yeah, that's fun. Also, trombones they're horns. It's a type of a horn, so it's like an announcement, something being announced. Um, they can be loud, so kind of in your face. They are made of all kinds of things. I've seen silver trombones, like goldish trombones, brass trombones. Um, but this idea of like metal, right? Every trombone I've ever seen has been made of some kind of metal. Probably a few different types of metals combined together. But yeah. And then, of course, obviously, music, right? So there is a melody, a rhythm, this idea of order and harmony and beauty coming through. And those are very Libra esque qualities, right? Libra is all about balance and harmony and beauty, fairness, equality, justice. So yeah, this is a very Libra esque energy. Okay, let's go into the cards. I'm actually going to start with um, the Mercury correspondences first, and then I'll get some archetypes, and then I'll do the tarot. I'm going to do things a little differently today. So you might be curious enough to try something a little bit different than how you normally do it around this time, just to see what happens, right? You never know. Mixing things up every now and then can be a good thing. It can bring about something you had never considered before that could aid in this going the whole 9 yards process. Okay, let's see. We got transport. Okay, so we've got this energy of movement, something being moved, money. Okay, transporting money. Interesting. And bridge. Okay, so right away we have this idea of the movement of value, right? It doesn't have to be literally money, although it could be, but something valuable um, being moved from one location to another, and some kind of bridge is involved in this process. So there's a crossing of boundaries, right? Because like water is a boundary between two land masses, and you have to have a bridge in order to transport things across that. At least in our current era, right? You could think of helicopters, jets, things like that as kind of a bridge as well because they can fly over those barriers. So they bridge the ability to connect two separated land masses. But regardless, there is this idea of moving something over border, something valuable over a border of some kind. Cool. And then on the bottom, interestingly, we have poison. Um, this is introducing this element of like sabotage, or it's almost like something trying to ruin the operation, right? They're trying to poison the operation, trying to poison the transport of this value. Yeah, okay. All right, let's get some archetypes here. Oh, okay. Well, there's two that just fell out, so let me just grab one more and then we'll take a look at them. Ah, okay. On the bottom, we have the crone. Yeah, so this is that mysterious, wise, ancient energy, feminine energy. This is that intuitive knowing, but it's coming from a very deep and wise place. This is the energy of having completed a full cycle, the end of the cycle, right? Having gained much wisdom and valuable knowledge. I mean, you can see the crow in this is literally holding this coin, which is like glowing with this dark, mysterious energy. So yeah, and then of course, we have the crow, which is a type of messenger, often associated with mercurial things like they're very intelligent. They are considered to be like bridges between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. Yeah, so they're very mysterious, curious creatures. And we have this idea of money, of value coming through again with the crow clutching this coin in its hands here. Oh, okay. I just realized there's another one here. That was just, I guess I just, when I picked it up, it just stayed behind. Um, the forest. Yeah, so the dark, scary forest, right? This is the energy of a journey through unknown territory, through a shadowy environment, because you can see the trees are very dark here. And there's this like gem, this structure sticking out of the ground, and the sky is lit up with this beautiful energy above. Lately, we've been having these crazy coronal mass ejections from the sun, and they've been sending or initiating these geomagnetic storms in our atmosphere, and the auroras have been visible very prevalently, more so than they normally are throughout the globe. You've probably seen photos of people using their phones to look at them because it's if you set your phone camera a certain way or camera settings a certain way, you can see them better than with your naked eye. But yeah, that's what's coming through here. You see those like aurora like colors in the sky, and then this darkness on the ground. But then there's also this like stable structure jutting out of the ground there. It's like once again, there's something valuable kind of rising to the surface through the darkness, right? The darkness. The crone is a very dark energy. Oh my gosh, underneath the throne is the bridge. So we have double bridge energy coming through here. Yeah, there's something crossing over. There's this crossing over energy here. Okay, so I'll keep the forest out. Let's see. We have the sword. Libran energy again. This is decisiveness, having to decide what is worth keeping, what is not. Yeah, making a decision, creating by making a decision, as I always say, you're stepping through a gateway, right? Because when you make a decision, you're choosing this path for your life and not that. So You're going through one gateway, not the other. And the sword is very much that energy, decisiveness. Let's see. The hunter. Yeah, so this is that curious energy, right? It's like you're being attracted to this thing, this energetic feeling. Um, and this idea of movement again, right? Transport, right? Horses are often used for transporting, or they used to be, used for transporting messages, even valuable goods, pulling carriages, things like that. But it's this idea of a vehicle moving. Yeah. And then finally, we have the animal instincts, right? This is those primal parts of us, those deep ancestral instinctual things we've inherited that are dark, mysterious, but they're very intelligent in a like being in the flow, being really in tune with your body, your senses, and listening to those feelings that are coming through from those primal instincts, right? So once again, it's this ancient energy coming through. So what I'm getting here is there's something very valuable, very old, mysterious that is crossing over. Let's get some cards to get some clarity on this. What is this transport, this crossing over, this crossing of the bridge related to? Okay, King of Swords flipped over. So we have somebody who is very good with their words, their thoughts, in formulating ideas, plans. You can see it says endurance at the bottom. They're stable in their ability to speak and communicate and think things through. This could be you, could be someone else. We'll get a couple more cards to get a little bit more about the story. Oh, okay, I had another one flip over here. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, so this is that idea of a transfer. You see it says bottom, that's sharing. Six of Pentacles is like a moving energy of, it's a movement of value, literally transport bridge money. That is this card in a nutshell, right? Um, yeah, so there's a movement of value related to some kind of plan, some kind of very stable, effective plan. Get one more. Oh, okay, this one's kind of jutting out here, so we'll go here. Knight of Wands. And yeah, this is being carried forward. Horse coming through again. Yeah, movement, right? And fast movement, passionate movement, full of energy. So yeah, it's this idea of something being in progress. Something valuable is related to a stable plan that has been in action, is bringing this sharing of value, this transport of money over boundaries, right? It's related to your instincts. You've been listening to those still, small, quiet, ancient, wise voices deep within. And you've been decisive about, listening to this. You have been locked on to these energies. And they've been guiding you through this dark and mysterious forest in order to find the value within. Yeah, on the bottom, we have the Three of Cups, celebration energy, right? This is a coming together, a party, emotional satisfaction, the creation of happy feelings, of joyous feelings. Now, I do want to know, because we had poison on the bottom, right? Meditate is underneath that. Um, giving me this idea of transmutation, right? It's, like the alchemical process of taking toxic energies and transmuting them into something valuable, something good, right? The Six of Pentacles. Sharing. It's giving me this idea of like your ability to communicate effectively, directly, and passionately these dark, poisonous, toxic things that have been in your life is giving you this movement energy, this transport energy. It's bringing value to you, right? Yeah, let's get some nouns. See what else wants to come through. Robin, that was in yesterday's reading as well. The name Robin could be significant, or the bird. Um, yeah, all right, let's just get 3 words though. Okay. Celery, whole, sun. Okay. These are mysterious. Celery is really throwing me. I love celery. I think the texture is great. It's so crisp and crunchy, and I love it. But the only thing that's really coming to mind for me is that one, the flavor to me at least is a bit subtle on celery. It's not so in your face. It's a very, it's flexible yet snappy. Like it'll bend so far and then just snap. You know what I mean? It has like that breaking point, and it's got this crunch to it. It's got a lot of water in it, vitamins. Um, yeah, let's do a search and see what else wants to come through with the celery energy before I go into the other ones. Celery is a cultivated plant belonging to the species Apium graveolens in the family Apiaceae that has been used as a vegetable since ancient times. So it is ancient energy once again. The original wild species has been selectively bred over centuries into 3, energy of 3 coming through again. 3 cups. Primary cultivar groups: stalk celery, consumed for its fibrous edible stalks; leaf celery, grown for its aromatic leaves; and celeriac, cultivated for its large edible. Oops. Cultivated for its large edible hyposotil. Celery is characterized by its long, ribbed stalks, pinnate leaves, and small white flowers arranged in umbels. Composed primarily of water. Okay, we get it, Wikipedia. You need money. Don't we all? Celery is composed primarily of water, 95%, but contains large amounts of vitamin K and negligible fat. The vegetable is commonly consumed raw in salads, cooked in soups, in stews, or juiced. Celery seeds, which have a strong aromatic flavor, are used as a spice or processed into celery salt. Celery is among a small group of foods that may provoke allergic reactions. Historically, celery has held medical, culinary, and symbolic significance. Literary evidence indicates celery cultivation in ancient Greece, while ancient Egyptians incorporated it into funeral garlands. Celery remains eaten around the world. Yeah, so it's this global, it transcends these barriers, right? It's ancient. It really goes along with this energy of it's kind of a bridge between cultures. It is this ancient thing. I am curious about its symbolic meaning. Let's see, etymology. This is always interesting. First attested and printed in English as celery with an S by John Evelyn, 1664. The modern English word celery derives from the French celery, in turn from Italian celery, the plural of celero, which comes from the late Latin celenon, the Latinization of the ancient Greek blah 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 blah. Romanized Selenon celery. The earliest attested form of the word is the Mycenaean Greek serino, written in linear B syllabic script. Right. I thought it was going to give us some alternate meanings, but did not. Okay, let's see. I'm curious to know if there's any. Okay, this cultural part is going to have. Here we go. The name celery retraces the plant's route of successive adoption in European cooking, as English celery is derived from the French celery. Okay, that's what we already read, but it's not telling us more. Here we go. A Chthonian symbol among the ancient Greeks, celery was said to have sprouted from the blood of Cadmilos, father of Kabiri. Chthonian divinities celebrated in Samothrace, Lemnos, and Thebes. The spicy odor and dark leaf color encourages association with the cult of death. So it's associated with death, with endings. That's very interesting. Yeah, with when it had said Egyptians used it in burial rituals or as garlands in burial rituals, I thought, yeah, there's an association with endings, with death here. Um, hmm. Okay. Whole sun. This is giving me, now that we have this like death energy coming through with celery, with endings and whole, this is giving me like grave and sun. This is like, a son is a male child of parents, right? So it's giving me this like, it's like this burial ritual of like a young energy, right? It's like, yeah, and then we have this idea of poison coming through. So there's this like death energy here present. And endings, yeah, especially with the crone. It's very interesting. What is this? I mean, it could be a. Oh, okay, we have the Three of Pentacles. So another three coming out. Collaboration. It's giving me this like oppositional thing. It's like, death and life. Because it's like, celery whole is this like giving me like grave energy, and then sun is like, I think literally the sun. Like, I know it's spelled SON, but it's the same idea, right? It's this new young thing. It's like a bright new beginning in an active way, because we have the masculine principle coming through with this idea of sun, male, masculine energy. So with the Three of Pentacles, collaboration, the Hermit, okay, yeah, so we had collaboration, and we also have the solo energy. So it's like the ending, it's giving me the ending of this solo journey and a coming together with new energies, a collaborative effort. It's like the end of the solo leg of the journey, right? And there are resources, there's value coming in, there's this bridging of like disparate places, of separated communities. There's the sharing of resources. That message has been coming through in a couple of my other readings in the past, in the recent past too. So there is this like reveal of something valuable. Whoa, Four of Wands wanted to come out again. Yeah, celebration. It's just like a coming together, a return to, or a going away, or maybe some form of both when we have this idea of movement. And underneath that, the world. Yeah, fulfillment. The end. This is like the end of this it's like a celebration of the end of this solo journey, right? And now the next leg of the journey is going to be much more collaborative, and more resources will be available in order to produce more value, right? Yeah, that's exciting. Okay. So, King of Pentacles on the bottom. Security, yeah, stability, right? Something physical you can experience with your five senses coming in, providing stability to this journey you've been on. I love that. Love to hear that. I have been on a solo journey for quite some time now, and I would love I embrace the idea of collaboration with others who are interested in the same kinds of things as I am. So let's see where this is going. Let's get some advice with some verbs. I'm going to reduce those. Saw cycle and chew. Chew is like this kind of like, it's a destructive force, right? You're transmuting food into energy for your body, but it's this death, right? You're extracting the energy from this other force and converting it into a different thing, and it's cycle. That's with the world here. There is an end of a big cycle coming about. Okay, so for advice, we have zip, gather, and save. Yeah, zip coming together, right? You zip something up, zip. It's taking two separate things and like bringing them together. Gather. This is like gathering your energy, your resources, consolidating it, and saving it up for this next part of the journey, perhaps. Let's get some cards for the advice, and we'll see what this is talking about here. Queen of Cups, support, the world again, and Seven of Wands. Yeah. And then strength. Yeah. This is that idea of Seven of Wands strength is like saving up your energy, right? It's being protective of your energy. You can see it says defense there on the bottom. Yeah. And then, of course, Queen of Cups, the world. Very nurturing, supportive energy. So there's this idea of pulling back a little bit, like conserving the energy you have built up over the experience you've had with where you've come so far, all the progress you've made through the dark, scary forest all on your own, right? On this solo journey, on this search, this hunt that you've been on. And it's this idea of like there is something on the way to you, something very valuable is being brought in, right? Transport bridge money. Something that is going to help you out a lot and bring in connection is on its way. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles under strength, abundance. King of Wands, leadership, creative leadership. I mean, this could be representing you or maybe somebody coming towards you for this next phase of the journey, this next cycle. But either way, there's a coming together, and the advice is to gather up your energy, pull it in, recall your energy if it's been kind of scattered, and really just like you're waiting for, it's this idea of luck, right? It's preparation meets the right opportunity. It's that idea. You need to, you just need to like pull it all and like I said, meditate was underneath poison. So it's this idea of like really just going within, and the hermit had come out too. Really go within and pull back all of your energy and just like consolidate and conserve. And then there's an opportunity coming, and that's when you'll know. You'll know, right? You've been waiting for it, looking for it, but your instincts are going to know because you've been hunting for this, using your instincts, your intuition for a while now. And when the time comes, you'll know what to do, right? The sword decisiveness. You'll know what decision to make. Awesome. All right, I'm going to stop it there. Yeah, I hope you found something valuable in this message. Yeah, if this relates to you and you feel obliged to share, put it in the comments below. Don't share anything too personally specific, but yeah. And please like the video if you enjoyed it. Helps the channel grow. Um, yeah, that's all I have. As always, take care of yourselves. Keep your heart open. Bye.